Hey, morning. 5th of November. It's the bonfire night tonight. Be interesting getting some sleep out on the road. We've had a couple of weeks where we've not been able to do videos for all kinds of reasons. I can't remember where we got to with the last video, to be honest. So my truck was swept from under my feet to go and have an MOT, and it was just a bit of a nightmare of a week, that, because I had to leave everything in and take out just the essentials. So I had to leave all my camera stuff in here, just run with what I could grab. Bit of a pain in the backside, to be honest, but there we go. Truck should have only been away for a day or two, but nature of the job, out on the road, I couldn't get back, so I ended up without my truck for the week. Got back in it again last Monday, and there was just stuff everywhere. So I spent the week last week trying to get stuff sorted out again. Still looks like a bomb's hit it. But never mind, back to it. And it's just been a busy couple of weeks. I had my son come and stay with us last week, Matthew. Although I was out on the road Monday to Friday. We had the weekend to catch up with. I did actually do a video last week, and then I left my camera in the truck over the weekend. I was just itching to get home, go and see me boy. So we'll start again this week. And I kind of lost my mojo a little bit, just with everything that's gone on. Down in the dumps with it all. And I know if you've been watching, you know I've had a few kind of things going on with this camera, trying to get it to connect. So I thought, we'll have a go this morning, and it's literally taken me an hour and a half to get the thing to connect to my phone. I've ended up pulling over and just resetting everything, restarting everything. I think it's working again now. You know, I said I was going to do a bit of a chinwag about mental health. Honestly, if ever there's a time where you feel like you're going to spit the dummy out and throw everything out the window. It's certainly been that way the last couple of weeks. But that's life, isn't it? Bit of a roller coaster sometimes. But anyway, enough. We will continue to talk about mental health and how it affects, and obviously the last couple of weeks, although it's, you know, not been anything at all really to write home about, but it does kind of get to you, and especially when you just want things to work, things to happen, and you kind of prepare yourself with how things are going to be, and then the carpet gets pulled from underneath your feet. And it doesn't really matter what the reason is, does it? It's just, for anybody that's suffering a little bit, it doesn't take much sometimes to upset the apple cart and knock you off where you are in the world. It doesn't take much at all sometimes. But we'll go into it in a bit more detail a bit later on. I've had a few questions which we'll go through a little bit later on as well, and we've also had, they changed a bit sharpish, we've also had a few comments which we will read out. lights just change really quickly then, and they've got cameras built into them, so I'm gonna risk that one. But we are heading down the A322 somewhere near Bagshot. We started 5 o'clock this morning, it's now 7:30. We're heading to Mole Valley Country Stores in Redhill, South London, or that kind of direction, and then somewhere else after that. And then no doubt we'll have a collection to do this afternoon. Take it as it comes, and at some point when we can get a chance to go through the questions, we will do. Yeah. Keep going, we will keep going. And again, chatting to Stevie Bloke and Ange, been watching their videos, really enjoyed their videos. He's got a few worries of his own. I don't know if you're not watching their vlogs. They are worth watching. He goes all over Europe and takes Angie with him. I've always said I like my own space in the cab. I mean, they're such a cracking couple. They just get on. Well, they look like they get on. They work together quite well as a team, I think, but I don't know. My cab's a bit bigger than his, and I just like my own space. I don't know if I'd want to share it. Be alright for a day or two. So, as much as I love Tanya's company, I don't know if we'd survive more than a couple of days, to be honest, in the cab. I'm sure we would, but my feet stink. I don't know. Anyway, we'll get on with it. We've just gone to the M3. We've still got about an hour to go, it's 33 miles. I phoned him up yesterday. I said, what time do you open? 8:30. We'll work it out when we get there. I can't remember if I've been to this one or not before. It seems to ring a bell. I can't remember if we've got to reverse in off the main road or drive in and out. I've definitely been to the other one. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Oh well, when we get there. But it's only about an hour up the road from Redhill where we're going, so not too bad a day. We're carrying animal feed and kind of farm supply kind of stuff, all strapped in. 19 pallets on board, but when I say 19 pallets, they're like double size pallets. We tend to just use the internals for them. Most of them are single stacked, the two at the front are double stacked, so I've used 2 straps on each of them. Stop them moving about. But they're all kind of loose bags. So if they're going to go anywhere, they're going to go no matter how you strap them down. But just to limit what would happen and to stop them sliding around, I tend to use 2 internal straps on each pallet just to keep them in place. And for the double stacked ones, I actually run one of the straps down and through the pallet just to keep it in place a bit more secure. Once we get to Redhill, if I need to throw a ratchet up and over the top of the first one, I will do, but what I might do, I might get him to drop them down for me, and then we just single stacked all the way through. I'm gonna sneeze. quite know what happened. I don't know whether she just stuffed up on trimming the shape or what, but she took about 2 years off me. This is two weeks ago. I definitely feel like I've been clippered. And last weekend, Tanya, Matthew and me, we went back to Upton, where we had all our wedding celebrations in the summer, and I visited a guy called Paul and had a new tattoo. I've got a few tattoos, but I fancied getting a new one.
I'm listening.
Don't listen, you don't need to listen. Yeah, I fancied getting a new tattoo, didn't quite know what to get. My best man, Dave, designed me a tattoo. So I went and had it done on the weekend. And it's amazing. Rat's Tattooey is the name of the shop. I'll try and remember to put a link in the feed. It's on Facebook if anybody's into tattoos, and based around that area. Upton 7 is the easiest way is just off the M5, kind of around Strensham area. It's about half an hour away from there. It's a junction or two along the M50, heading out towards Malvern. Fabulous little tattoo studio. And he's done a good job. Done all right. So we've had a musical stave with a treble clef and an extra line put in that to follow the line of the road, and it kind of twists and twirls out, and it goes from a musical stave to a road. Make sure we're in the right lane here. Need to head out towards kind of Gatwick. It's getting busy. And then of course my life, it's all been about tarmac and music. So we've had the words, probably see it actually behind there. Tarmac and music, music and tarmac. It's always featured in my little life. That was kind of the basis around my speech when we got married. The roads that I have followed, and how music has helped me to get from one end to the other, which also comes into the whole mental health thing, coping strategies, mechanisms, stroping, coping, ways of coping, you know what I mean. Anyway, we'll get a bit of road in so you can see where we are. Just kind of at the M3, M25 junction. Although we do kind of need to be over another lane, I think. a safe second or two to twiddle the Stevie Ange mount. There's another one that's gone the wrong way. Panic. Fabulous eggs and fabulous birds on this one. Hang on, let's turn you around. Fabulous birds. I don't know if we're level there or not. Everything seems to have moved. Probably end up pulling it off the mount. I'll straighten it up in a bit. So there we go, then straight into traffic. I knew it would be, but I also know this place that we're going to is doesn't open till 8:30, and there's nowhere really to park up outside, so there's no point getting there any earlier. We want to get there as close as we can to 8:30. Give myself an extra 10 or 15 minutes, and at the moment sat-nav says 8:30, so we're all good. Lovely and leaving for a bit. Sure how much that showed there, but just made contact with a little Suzuki Jimny on the corner just as I came round the corner just before the delivery. I crept round the corner because it was quite a tight one, road being wet. The driver, he was just going too quick, couldn't stop in time and ploughed into the side of me. It was taken out down the side of my unit. It's still drivable obviously. exchange details. Maybe one for his insurance to sort out. Poor bloke, he said he'd had his car since new, and he was on his way to the hospital for an appointment. So immediately put his hands in the air. He just said, I was just going too fast. And he said, you'd never believe it. He said, I've got a lorry licence, I've got a coach licence, I'm a taxi driver, I'm an advanced driver. And I just said to him, listen mate, these things happen unfortunately, and hopefully it might just make him slow down a little bit. I did feel sorry for him though. It was close. Luckily I'd managed to come to a standstill, but because of the size of this vehicle, obviously I was taking up a fair amount of the road. It was a blind corner. I managed to stop on the corner. I saw him hurtling towards me, and he had nowhere to go. He just piled into the side of me. Poor thing. So we've exchanged details, and to continue with the day. Oh. Never rains when it pours, does it, eh? So it was a nice guy, really nice bloke. We shook hands at the end, but we had to kind of move fairly quickly because we were blocking the road off. He just pulled chunks of his car away and drove off. The hospital was only a half a mile away, so I'd assume he'll have his appointment and then probably get a recovery, I would imagine, because his headlight was all in bits. It just goes to show it doesn't matter how you drive, how careful you are, it's just the other people out there on the road sometimes. I don't know how much the camera caught there because I know it was doing a time lapse, but and obviously I can't give out any personal details, but there we go, just one of them things. We've done our delivery and we're on our way now to Billinghurst. Should be there for about 10:30. I need to ring the office, so I shall disappear off just for a few minutes and we'll catch up in a bit. Well, that's both of the deliveries done. We've just delivered to Billinghurst, Malt Valley. Guys are always really lovely in that place. Had a new guy on the forklift. He was all excited. It was his first day since passing his test yesterday. For his forklift licence anyway. So we've got a collection to do at Chelmsford, which is other side of London, and that's going back up to Colville. Pretty sure they're going to be wanting to get the dash cam footage off the truck. And what will be, will be. Back from the guy from this morning actually. He asked me to send him a picture of the map of where the accident took place. I did a screenshot on Google Maps. I'll send that to him along with all the details of MTS. haven't heard anything back. So hopefully he's alright. He's probably just in a minefield of insurance. He seemed a genuine enough bloke. In the last accident I had was many years ago. The last work-related one. I had a car accident years ago now. It's got to be over 10 years ago. Somebody just pulled straight out in front of me on the A66 near Workington. I was on my way home. And, there's a notorious crossroads for accidents, and I'd slowed down for the crossroads, and the guy hesitated and just kind of came out, stopped, came out a bit more. I was just on my brakes the whole time. He just kept coming, and then I was presented with either disappearing into the back of him, or there was a lamp post on the right, or an electric little box thing on the left. And I was always taught, if ever you're going to have an accident, never swerve, because that's always makes things worse. So I just kind of disappeared into the back of him. I wasn't particularly going very fast, and I had slowed down for the junction, and I had witnesses that said there was nothing I could have done. He just literally just came out, took his chances. But the last work-related one I had was well over 20 years ago. Oh, it must be getting on for 25 years ago, I would think. In a recovery truck, cutting across from the A1 towards Mount Mowbray. Similar kind of circumstance to that one, actually. The one that I've had this morning on an S-bend. Council truck just ploughed into me. I think I spoke about this before. My uncle turned up with his camera, took some photographs, and everything had fallen onto my side of the road. All the glass out my truck. Wrote my truck off. My recovery truck, he wrote it off. And he gave me details which were turned out to be false details, and he just drove off, and I had a heck of a problem trying to prove, because of course there was no dash cams or anything back then. They finally got in touch with him, and even though he'd given false details, and even though I had pictures showing everything on my side of the road, the company I worked for was still trying to blame me for the accident. So I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I'm always the first to put my hands up if I do something wrong, if I clonk something. It's the nature of the job sometimes. You know, you can't go in and out of all these fields and farms without attracting something at some point. Whether it's a corner of a bumper that you've scuffed at the underneath of a bumper, where the ground's been a bit higher than you thought it was. I am particularly careful, but I'm also human. I'm not going to lie, I've had a couple of scuffs that luckily have kind of tea-cut out. nature of the job sometimes, isn't it? But I always put my hands up and say, I misjudged it, or that was entirely my fault. I thought I could do it, obviously not. That one this morning definitely wasn't my fault. I managed to come to a standstill. I was only going snail's pace anyway around the corner. The other guy, obviously, he just could not stop. And he admitted he was going too fast. Although, you know what'll happen. The way of the world these days, nobody can admit responsibility, or very few. But he did seem a genuine bloke, and I'm hoping he'll do the right thing. But I've got cameras all over here, one in the windscreen, two on the sides, and of course the GoPro. I don't think he'll have a leg to stand on. Makes you doubt yourself though, doesn't it? Funny feeling. But everybody's okay. Everybody's fine, that's the main thing. Just feel sorry for his car. He said he'd had it since new. I suppose for 1 minute they're going to repair that. That's it. So we're about to jump on the A24 and we'll make our way around to the M25 under the tunnel and work our way up for our collection. See if we can make it up to Colville tonight. There's people like that Ranger that's just gone round there. He didn't know I was turning left, I might have been going straight on. There we go, we live and learn. We'll be at the collection 2:15. Hopefully be out of there by 3. Potentially be back up at Colville for 6:30. Just say run it in the morning. Here it comes, we shall soon see. But typically, the day I decide to do the vlog, start recording again, something like that happens. Can't make it up. Right, I'm out of here. See you in a bit. the collection, all good there. And I've heard back from the gentleman from this morning. He's given me all the insurance details. He's reported it to his insurance, and they seem to think they're going to write his car off. He'll have to get it inspected first, but he's written it down in the message that he accepted responsibility for the accident and all the apologies in the world. Really nice bloke, you know, really nice bloke. So hopefully I won't have any comeback on that one. I can't do really, to be honest, but you know what it's like. But this load that we've got on is going up towards Colville, or it's going to Colville actually, which is where we're based, just north of Leicester. But I ain't going to get up there today. It's another 3 hours from here, and I've already done 6.5 hours, so I won't be going up tonight. Take it up first thing in the morning, and then we'll see if they want me to take it in or not. Get the dash cam footage. I think I said before, we've also got cameras mounted on the side of the truck as well, so it's kind of all angles are covered. I'm just a bit gutted. I'm gutted for him. It was an old car, but he's had it since new. And, I know, because I've got quite an old car. Yes, I've only had it 3 or 4 years, but it's kind of my pride and joy. So I do feel for him. Everything for a reason, eh? It's you never know. I mean, as things unfolded, both of us were going fairly slow. It's just the road was wet, and he was in a 4x4, and it's a popular misconception that 4x4s will just get you out of trouble. The trouble is the centre of gravity is so high in a lot of these 4x4s. Yes, I know you've got a lot of weight underneath, but, you know, you see the cars when they go around corners too quick and they all lean over. You imagine that when you're braking, and then all of a sudden you've got all that weight just then transferring. And that's pretty much what it was. He stood on the anchors, and the weight of the car just kept him going forwards. At the end of the day, he was just going too fast for the road conditions, unfortunately, and was unable to stop. But when I say there's everything for a reason, it may well have been that he got on the open road, you know, and he might have had an accident further up. He might not, but he might have done. He might have been travelling at speed, and things could have been very different. So I am a firm believer in everything for a reason, and it was a low speed impact. We both walked away absolutely fine. I think if I'd have been hurtling round the corner, things probably would have worked out completely different, because I'd have been halfway across the road, with it being a tight bend. You know, I could have wiped him out. So, all good in the end. All good in the end. The car could be replaced. Metal panels can be replaced, but the life of a human isn't always so easy. So there we go. We've got 120 miles left to do. We'll be working our way up to the M11, A14, and then all the way across to the M1 and up. Not too sure where I'm going to end up yet. I've only got about an hour and a half left, so I'll be looking to park up around about 4:30. There's no point in me having a 45 and carrying on, because I ain't going to get there anyway. So we'll be parked up no matter what, 4:30 at the latest, and crack on in the morning. I think that's quite enough for one day. Oh dear. I feel absolutely wiped out. Oh, excuse me. So I think we'll love you and leave you with a bit of a time lapse, and we'll put a couple of photos up of the damage. I'm not going to put the gentleman's details up, I'm not going to put his registration number up, I'll blank that out. It's not fair on him. You've got to respect his personal life too. We'll love you and leave you for now. We're not really going to end up doing the inside of the cab because it's going to be dark fairly soon after parking up, and the questions and answers I shall do on my next video, which, depending how today goes, because I'm going to be parked up quite early, I might just try and get the video up. Maybe not up, but put together, and then upload it tomorrow, and then I'll either vlog tomorrow or Thursday and try and get that one up over the weekend. So we'll do the questions and answers, and I might get a chance to do the inside of the cab. But one time or other I will. It's pointless doing the outside of the cab now. There we go. But once again, we've all got to the end of the day and start again tomorrow. So, tell you bye for now. We'll finish up with the time lapse to wherever we're going to end up, or thereabouts.